Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually when we sit down here, there's this energy in the room. It's anticipation.
It's about discovery, yeah.
Exactly. We've got new research, a new topic, and we're trying to crack something open, find something we didn't know before. We're asking, like, how does this work? Or what's the real story here?
That's the fun of it.
Right. But today, I'm looking at this folder on the desk between us, and the feeling is it's just different. It's heavier. It feels less like we're opening something up and more like we're, I don't know, closing a case.
That's a good way to put it.
Right.
Because today isn't about discovery. It really is about closure.
We have a folder here. It's marked Joseph Stephen Rose. We've talked about this subject before in other deep dives, looking at that whole ecosystem. But today, the goal is pretty simple. We stamp this file and we put it away for good.
Correct. And we need to be really, really clear about what we're doing here. This is not a new investigation. We are not opening a fresh inquiry.
We're not trying to be surprised.
No. If we're surprised, we haven't been paying attention. This is a final confirmation. We are just verifying a pattern that we have already, I think, pretty meticulously documented.
And the reason we're pulling this file out one last time is a new video he uploaded. It's titled American in Russia.
Right.
And the thumbnail. Wow. It's not him at the grocery store this time.
No. But before we even get into that, we have to reset our own rules of engagement. We developed a really strict analytical framework for this kind of material in our previous work, and we have to stick to it, or we fall right into the trap he's setting.
Okay, so let's walk through those rules again. For anyone who might have missed the earlier sessions, how do we approach this stuff?
Rule number one, and it is the most important. We do not debate facts with a propaganda output. You don't argue with a billboard.
Right. If you're arguing with a clown about his shoe size, you're already part of the circus.
Exactly. So we don't do that. Second, we don't use the language of both sides. We don't use the word conflict. Based on all of our own source analysis, there's one aggressor, Russia, and one victim, Ukraine. End of story.
And the third rule was about that term SVO.
The special military operation. Yes.
Yeah.
We only treat that as a propaganda euphemism. It's a way to numb the audience to the reality of war. So if we use it, it's only to point out the manipulation.
Got it. Okay, so with those guardrails up, what's the thesis today? What's the final stamp on this file?
It's very simple. This individual is not a journalist. He's not an observer. He's a component in a psychological machine. And this latest video is just the final piece of data we need to close the diagnostic.
Okay, let's get into what you've called the investigation theater. So in this video, he's standing in a park in Moscow, but it's not a normal park.
No, it's a trophy park.
He's standing right in front of a captured American Abrams tank. He's surrounded by all this NATO equipment, and it's all laid out like a museum exhibit. And he's playing this role, the curious American.
The curious American, yeah. The mask. Oh, wow, look at this. I'm just a regular guy discovering this right along with you. It's designed to lower your guard.
And the main claim of this video, it's really specific. He's claiming that South Korea is the primary supplier of shells to Ukraine and that these missiles are the ones hitting Russian territory.
It's quite a pivot, isn't it? Suddenly the bad guy isn't just Kyiv, now it's Seoul, it's Washington. It's basically anyone but the people who actually started the war.
But this is where it gets, I think, really telling. He zooms in on these specific fragments of metal. He says they were found in the Bryansk region, and he's pointing at serial numbers on what he calls M74 bomblets and 80 HCMS missiles.
Army Tactical Missile System, just for clarity.
Right, and he points at this scrap metal and says, and I'm paraphrasing here, the serial numbers show these were made by Lockheed Martin in 2001 and sent to South Korea.
Okay, let's just pause right there. We have to unpack this. This is what we call a PSYOP marker in our framework.
Okay.
I want you to apply the logic test we came up with, the test of impossibility.
Right. So how does a civilian YouTuber, an expat dad, as he calls himself, how does he independently trace a serial number from a muddy field in Russia
to a specific Lockheed Martin manufacturing batch from over 20 years ago, which was then sent to a specific country in Asia?
I mean, it's absurd. I can't even reliably track a package I ordered yesterday.
Exactly. Supply chain forensics is a nation-state level capability. You would need internal production logs, you'd need military transfer records. It is, for all practical purposes, impossible for a civilian to have that information.
So if you can't know it, what are we watching?
We are watching a script. We're watching a symptom. There are really only two possibilities. Possibility A, it's all theater. He's making it up, just pretending to have access to sound credible.
And possibility B.
He's repeating information that was handed to him, that he was given a brief by Kremlin-aligned channels and told, here's the narrative, say it came from Korea.
So narrative delivery under protection.
That's the one. Either way, the diagnosis is identical. He is not an investigator. He is a mouthpiece. He's there to use his American accent as a stamp of authenticity on a state-approved story.
It's the investigation theater. He acts like he's discovering it in real time, but the conclusion was written before he ever hit record.
Absolutely. It's a performance, and it allows him to shift all the blame away from the actual invasion.
Which brings us straight to the idea of moral inversion, because the emotional manipulation in this video was thick.
Propaganda runs on emotion, not facts.
He claims these missiles, the ones from South Korea and the U.S., they hit an orphanage in Voronezh. He's very specific about an orphanage.
Ah, the orphanage defense. It's a classic. We've seen it in our analysis of so many different propaganda systems. It's always a hospital, a school, or an orphanage.
And he says South Korea promised this wouldn't happen. He's angry at the people who provided the shield, not the people who fired the sword.
Okay, let's apply our moral inversion marker here, because this is the trap. Even if we assume for a second that South Korea did supply weapons, we have to look at the moral logic.
Okay.
Imagine you see someone break into your neighbor's house and start attacking them with a knife.
Horrifying, yeah.
And another neighbor runs up and hands the family a baseball bat to defend themselves.
Yeah.
The bat is the aid, the missiles.
Got it.
Now imagine a guy standing on the sidewalk, that's Rose, and he starts screaming at the person who provided the bat. How dare you! A splinter from that bat could hit someone! All while ignoring the guy with the knife.
He's framing the shield as the problem.
Exactly. The invasion itself is treated like an act of nature, like bad weather. The crime, in his world, is resisting it. Helping a victim resist annihilation doesn't need justification. The invasion does.
This connects directly to the sociopath test we developed. I applied it to this video.
The sociopath test, yes. Remind us how that works. It's a really useful tool for cutting through the noise.
It's simple. You look for one missing sentence. This video is 10 minutes of serial numbers, electronics, blaming Trump, blaming South Korea, but one sentence is completely absent.
And what is that sentence?
Russia should stop invading its neighbors.
And did you hear it?
Not once. I listened twice. It's not there. He never says if Russia just went home, the missiles would stop.
Because it's never there. And that silence is the verdict. When stopping the killing is optional, but blaming the resistance is mandatory. That is propaganda, pure and simple.
It's a complete deletion of cause and effect.
It has to be. It relies on you accepting that Russia has a right to invade and Ukraine has a duty to lose. Anything else is a provocation.
Let's talk about the camouflage here. We've talked about the Ted Bundy effect before.
You got cast on the arm, yeah.
Bundy used a fake cast to look harmless, to lower people's guard. Rose uses the expat dad persona, the loving father, the guy just trying to make a life. We analyzed that birthday cake video he did.
The cognitive shortcut. He seems like a nice guy, therefore he can't be supporting mass murder.
But the backdrop for this video is that trophy park. And visually, it's so clean. It's orderly.
It presents war as a museum. This is so important. It detaches the machine from the human cost. You see a tank parked in a neat row. You don't think about the people who burned inside it. You think about engineering.
Which is exactly the language he uses. He gets so clinical talking about guided submunitions and payloads.
That's the dehumanization recall. Remember when we analyzed his guests, Martinov and Orlov?
Oh, Martinov, the sperm bank comment about Ukrainian soldiers?
Yes, or Orlov calling them rats in the rafters. It's pure dehumanization.
And this is just a more sophisticated version of that.
Exactly. By reducing mass death to a boring discussion of logistics and serial numbers, he's stripping the humanity out of it. He turns the victim into a technical problem.
It's an intellectual exercise to distract you from the blood.
It engages your brain so your heart doesn't have time to react.
And while he's doing all this, he's also selling a lifestyle. The business layer, as we call it. The showroom.
Right. He's a relocation promoter. Even here, there's an undercurrent of, look how strong Russia is. Look how safe I am filming here. It's a constant pitch.
Traditional values, cheap gas.
A showroom for a lifestyle built on a graveyard.
But can just anyone do that? Could I fly over and start filming in front of captured military hardware?
Of course not. And that's the willing participant model.
Right.
The transaction is clear. Why is he allowed to do this?
A normal Russian citizen would be arrested.
Immediately. He is safe because he reads the script. His platform, his safety, his income, it's all payment for narrative alignment. He's a tenant, And the rent is propaganda.
And if he stops paying the rent?
The lease is up, and the eviction process there can be severe.
I want to get to the closing argument. We need a way to visualize this whole system. You brought up the house metaphor again.
The house metaphor is, I think, the key to understanding all of this. Imagine modern Russia, as he presents it, is a large, impressive house.
Okay, I see it.
Rose operates on the main floor, the living room. He shows you the clean streets, the nice cafes, the orderly trophy parks. He shows you the happy family life. It looks like a normal, comfortable home.
And he's saying, see? The lights work, the gas is cheap. Why does everyone hate this place?
Exactly. He's betting that if the living room looks good, you won't ask about the rest of the house.
Yeah.
But this house has a basement.
The basement.
And we know from our own prior analysis of the source material what's in the basement. That's where the zindans are, the torture pits for their own soldiers. It's where the meat assaults are planned. It's where dissent is nullified.
The things he can never, ever show.
The things he cannot acknowledge. Because the illusion of that comfortable living room depends entirely on you never, ever asking about the door leading downstairs.
So his job isn't just to be a tour guide for the living room.
His job is to stand in the living room, point at the pretty furniture, and physically block the door to the basement with his body. And if you ask about the noises you hear from below,
He tells you it's the wind, or it's South Korea's fault.
acknowledging the basement makes the living room uninhabitable. You can't enjoy the cheap gas if you know it's being paid for with what's happening just a few feet beneath you.
Yeah.
His entire professional existence is defined by that denial.
So let's do it. The final verdict. We said we were going to close the file.
Let's close it.
Based on this video and everything we've documented before, what's the formal diagnosis?
The diagnosis is confirmed. Joseph Stephen Rose is a component of an aggressor state's propaganda apparatus.
Oh.
There is no nuance. There is no complex situation.
He's not just some guy trying to make his way.
No, he is a part of the machine. He filters reality, he inverts morality, and he uses his American identity to sell a totalitarian product.
Case closed.
Case closed.
Before we go, let's leave our listeners with something. We talk about digital resilience. When you see a video like this one, calm voice, technical details, what's the takeaway?
Don't let the calm voice fool you. That's the trap. Don't let a discussion about serial numbers distract you from the fact that they're justifying a massacre.
It's the sociopath test.
Always. If they don't ask for the killing to stop, stop listening.
Yeah.
If their anger is only for the shield and never for the sword, turn it off.
And remember, just because the living room looks clean,
Doesn't mean the basement is empty.
that's our deep dive for today. The file is closed. Thanks for listening. Stay sharp, and we'll see you on the next one.